Let's celebrate that team as they leave the stage. Thank you. Let's celebrate that team. Quite some energy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is Africa. We are Africans, and Africanness is our business, right? And so we celebrate the diversity of cultures. The first June convening in 2017 took place in Ghana, and that has been the trend for a number of years until this time when it came to East Africa with its first landing here in Kigali, in Rwanda. And then we had 25 participants, 13 institutions drawn from 4 countries. With the pleasure of the day today at the June convening in 2025, we have that number grown to 291 participants, 74 institutions drawn from 16 countries. It's a good place to clap. Today we are gathered, and in the rest of this week, at the zenith of our thoughts and our talking and our exchanges of practices, we'll be looking at a theme entitled Recentering Student Development, where we'll be reflecting, mobilizing, and aligning for transformational student experience. Very few people, for us who come from higher ed, all of us are coming from higher education, very few people think of the student as the employer. And it's for this reason we are coming to regather our thoughts, to ask ourselves, why do we wake up every other morning? Why do you go to work? We want to recenter. We want to organize delightful programs where delight in the student experience, right from onboarding to having them churned out of the university or the college, will be the norm of the day. We want to appreciate representation from different countries, and if I make mention of your country, you can do a stand-up and just a wave. We want to acknowledge those 16 countries that are in the room. Number 1, we start with Botswana. Botswana, wow, what a joy it is. Thank you, a wonderful lady here from Botswana. Number 2, we're going to Burkina Faso, where the Burkinabes, wow, amazing. Thank you for coming. Number 3, to Canada. Canada. Wow, quite an extreme on that expanse of the room. Number 4, we go to Ethiopia. I think I saw my sister somewhere around there. Thank you for coming. And, oh, wow, thank you. Ivory Coast is the 5th country represented in the room. Thank you. Ghana. Wow, amazing. Let's celebrate these people. Wow, thank you. Thank you, Ghanaians, for proving that you're not selfish. You'll actually come to Kigali. Asante. Number 7, we celebrate Kenya. And here we are, Kenyans, we in the room. Wow, what a joy. What a joy. We are a peaceful people. Today we're on the streets demonstrating, but we'll do you no harm, just be sure. Morocco. You know, I still wonder with all the energy Africans have, how we were colonized. Number 8, we have Morocco, where the Moroccans, wow, beautiful. Thank you, thank you. Number 9, we have a tribe in Kenya called Luos, and Luos are the most proud people in Kenya. Somebody told me this country has given us the most proud people in Africa. Where is Nigeria? The Luos of Africa, Nigeria. Thank you. Thank you, brothers from Nigeria and sisters. Qatar is number 10. Qatar, wow, beautiful. Right at the back, some beautiful ladies are there from Qatar. Rwanda, our hosts. Let's celebrate our hosts, led by Dr. Mugabe. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us here. South Africa, wow, what a joy it is. Number 13, we have Togo. Wow, thank you. Thank you. Togo is in the room. Number 14, from the Pearl of Africa, Uganda. Wow, thank you. Thank you. Number 15, the people from the United States of America, where we celebrate them. And lastly, number 16, Zambia. Zambia, where people from Zambia. Great. This has grown to a number of regional hubs, the West Africa hub that has a constitution of 22 member institutions, the East African hub that is steadily growing with 18 member institutions, and the South African hub that has 6 member institutions. And so we welcome you to the 2025 June convening. It's now my privilege to invite our friend and our host, Jagath Chandra. Jagath will be giving us safety and security protocols, even as we enjoy our stay here for the next few days. And after that, I'll bring us the person doing the welcome remarks.
Good morning, all. I'm Jagath Chandra, Director of Engineer for Kigali Marriott Hotel. First of all, I'd like to thank you, all of you, hosting this event in our Kigali Marriott Hotel on behalf of executive management team here. So, very short brief about safety and security in this building. In case of emergency, you can see on your front right-hand side and the left-hand side, there is 2 egress, as well as on your behind there are 3. So once you getting into that egrasses out, you will be guided by our emergency response team to the assembly point. So only remember one thing, in case of emergency, you don't need to waste your time to collect your personal belongings or do not use elevator. These are the 2 things you have to keep it in mind. Rather than that, in case if you face any power fluctuation, within 23 minutes, our generator will kick it in and you will have a power back to the Kilimanjaro ballroom. And thank you for all of you. Have a brilliant day for InHead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. At this moment, we want to receive a welcome address, and this is happening at this moment. We're going to receive Dr. Sylvie. Dr. Sylvie is the Vice Chancellor of Rwanda Polytechnic. She's going to bring us the welcome remarks. The next voice you hear is that of Dr. Sylvie. Thank you.
Executive leaders, heads of institutions, industry leaders, distinguished delegates, faculty members here present, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, good morning. It is with great pleasure and honor that I welcome you all to the Educational Collaborative 2025 June Convening, taking place here in Kigali for the first time. I extend sincere appreciation to each of you for joining this convening that promises to be an impactful and forward-looking gathering. I would like to first acknowledge with gratitude the Education Collaborative, an initiative founded by Ashesi University in Ghana for driving education transformation across Africa. The Education Collaborative is one rising higher education network conceptualized around the principle that the needed scale and speed for delivering transformation in higher education in Africa is beyond any single institution's capacity. Your leadership in higher education innovation continues to inspire and connect us. Today is just proof of that. Rwanda Polytechnic joined the Education Collaborative almost 4 years ago and started with system change program for employability to improve our career development system, with Kepler College as exemplary institution to support us in that journey. Our vision was and is to impact student learning experience by providing the skill set to create and lead industry, businesses, community, and socioeconomic development. Our experience with Education Collaborative has shown that sustainable and meaningful collaborations are largely rooted in building strong relationships. It begins with simple to completion, ensuring equal input from all parties and accountability to commitments. In order to develop meaningful and transformative central focus of higher education reform, central focus of and upholding the values we champion, ensuring that these are reflected in every aspect of student life, from classroom and extracurricular activities to the broader campus environment. Over the next 4 days, we'll engage in deep reflection on current practices, mobilize our knowledge and resources for action, and examine ways to realign institution strategies to better serve our students. This convening will feature plenary of learning and ensuring our institution of learning and ensuring our institution interventions that put African students at the center of a thriving, inclusive, and future-ready higher education ecosystem. As we are starting this convening, I wish to extend sincere thanks to everyone who has contributed to its organization. Your dedication has made this gathering possible. We look forward to success stories, partnerships, and innovations that will grow out of this convening and ultimately shaping the African higher education. Once again, welcome to the Education Collaborative 2025 June convening, and welcome to Rwanda, the country of thousand hills. For those who are in Rwanda for the first time, please do not leave without
Executive Director, ladies and gentlemen, 25 June. This important gathering in Kigali, a hub of innovation and growing center of higher learning in Africa. Rwanda welcomes you not merely as visitors, but as partners and co-creators in shaping a bold and shared vision for the future of higher education on our continent. Hosting this convening for the first time is both a privilege and a meaningful milestone. It reflects integration. Our universities must evolve beyond their traditional mandate. That they must become dynamic platforms for innovation, leadership development, and continental collaboration, incubators of the very transformation we seek across the continent. This 2025 June convening exemplifies that vision in practice. As we gather here in Kigali, we witness the power of collaboration, of convening institution, thought leaders, and changing agents across boards. We are united by the common aspiration, and through collective action, we can multiply our impact. This year's theme, we can multiply our impact. This year's theme challenges us to reflect, mobilize, and realign around one of the most urgent goals of our time: delivering meaningful, relevant, and transformational learning experiences for African learners. Rwanda has long championed the value of strategic partnership in education. Our experience shows that through collaboration, whether in founding new institutions, designing student-centered programs, or reforming policies, we are better equipped to respond to complex and evolving needs of our youth through collaboration. Such institutions, designing student-centered programs, we are better equipped to respond to complex needs through collaboration. To think differently, act boldly. I wish to express our sincere appreciation to the leadership of the Education Collaborative, especially Executive Director Rose Dad, and the Ashesi University and its visionary leadership. Your unwavering commitment to excellence continues to inspire institutions across the continent and elevate the standard of higher education in Africa. As we open the 2025 Stakeholders Symposium, I urge all of us to engage with openness, critical thinking, and a shared sense of purpose. Let this convening be more than a moment of dialogue. Let it be a platform for action. The work we undertake together here in Kigali must accelerate our collective effort to transform higher education into a force for inclusive, sustainable development. Let us reflect with clarity, mobilize with intent, and realign with urgency for the benefit of a generation of African learners to come and for all of us. Thank you very much, and I wish you a successful gathering.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you for inviting us to Rwanda. We hope to have the best of stays here. At this time, we want to get into a moment of a succession of keynote talks. We'll be getting that from 3 individuals. The first one will be Ms. Araba Boshwe, who is the Executive Director of Admissions and Financial Aid at the Ashesi University in Ghana. And in quick succession, it'll be followed by Mr. Jalal Sharaf, who is the Chief Digital Officer, Mohammed Polytechnic University. And lastly will be Professor Daniel Lapak, who is the Dean of Students at the University of Cape Coast. And they will come in that. She's Executive Director of Admissions and Financial Aid at Ashesi University. Let's make her welcome when she takes this. Thank you. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Happy to be back here in Kigali. And this morning, I just may need a little help, Eben, with the slides. But I'm sure you're all aware, I'm based share how Ashesi University, the admissions department, we collate data and use that to facilitate departmental collaboration in the hope that student development outcomes will get a good start and then run through the program. Right, so before we start anything, we try to look at, as a university, looking out for in a student, right? And so setting the stage for important collecting information, we try to meet the various departments to say that, for example, academic affairs, if we're bringing students to you as an admissions team, what kind of student are you looking for? What will be your ideal student? And then we're looking to career services, kind of student, or who would you, all the key stakeholders. And we have the faculty and academic team telling us that we're looking for academic potential and ability to succeed. We drill it down, asking, what does that look like? And so we end up talking about verbal communication, ease of comprehension. We're looking at vocabulary, and then we're talking about analytical skills. We're asking evidence of time management, various key points that we use. And that facilitates how we even target our students or who we're looking to bring in. And then once they are with us, we also meet with student services. They're talking about ethical leadership, awareness of ethical issues. We're asking about participation in teamwork, because all these give us the picture of the kind of student we're looking for. And once we have that, we're able to pull all the information together, and then we use that to create the application form. And so once we get the application form, we're asking questions. What have you done in school? What shows that you're a team player? Because we need something to build on. And once we gather all this information, we push them now to the next step and give them to, we collect the information and give them to the various departments. For example, we have a student who's coming in with health issues. Are we able to give that information to the health center, health services, so that they will be prepared to receive that student and right from the onset, give them a good start, knowing that they need extra help. Student life engagement. We have a student who's been admitted with mobility issues. Where do we place them in terms of the dormitory? Do they stay on the ground floor because they're using crutches? So it's very important that right from the word go, there's collaboration among various departments to ensure that, one, we're meeting expectation of the faculty, of the various departments, or managing even that expectation. Once that is done, we collect the information, send it to them so they are aware these are the kinds of students that we are expecting to come into our community, and they are better prepared to work with them. We have accessibility center. Do you have a student with hearing impairment? What kind of support are you going to provide for the person? Somebody with visual impairment, are there systems in place to assist them? So we collate the information through the application forms, through the interviews, and we're able to pass it on. And that's how we would collaborate with them. But once they get into our system, we go to another level of collaboration where we now meet at least once a semester with faculty to say, we brought you these students. We're asking, did we meet your expectation? What feedback do you have for us that we can put back into the system as we go to the next stage? So at least we're getting feedback from the various departments. Once a semester, student services to understand the engagement trends, patterns to pay attention to during admissions. Is there a trend showing that maybe a certain group of students have severe challenges or not? Do they have special needs? Do they need something else beyond what we saw at the interview level? So it's important that to ensure that the development of students are done right from the beginning. We work with each and every department to bring back the kind of students that they would like to see. And then we also get feedback. I guess there'll be time for questions. So my final conclusion is that I have a question. Would huge universities be able to take up this kind of activity? My answer is yes and no. No, because they may not be so nimble. It's huge. The departments are different. The schools are different. But yes, because we can start small. You could start from the School of Business, engineering school, rather than start on a big scale. But it's very important to make sure that right from the beginning to the end, from enrollment to graduation, we're making sure that we are all working together. And as higher education institutions, I believe that of necessity, we have to think innovatively if we want to make sure that the outcomes we expect are not business as usual. So thank you.
Jalal, you're next. Just take, immediately after Jalal, we'll have Professor Daniel Apak. Just come in as the next presenter, then we'll have some conversations.
Good morning, everyone. Really thrilled and, okay, thank you very much. Very happy to be with you here. We'd like to share with you some actually innovative projects that we carried out at University Mohammed VI Polytechnique in Morocco. And we hope to actually not only present it, but also collaborate with other institutions in Africa. We'll be very happy to share because we're about scale. So, to be mindful of the time, because I need to actually stick to, the 10 minutes I have, I'll be quick on my slides, but the messages will be, I hope, very clear. So why, let me push the slide. Yes, so we're talking actually about using AI to rethink how education is done. This is a very actual question. As you can see, what's happening with the advent of AI, everything is changing, and even the notion of learning is being challenged. With all the content being readily free and available online, many students ask themselves, why would I go to a classroom in front of a professor and listen to what they have to say? So why AI in education? Because I think, in a simple answer, we need to solve all the problems with new technologies and new mindsets. It's all about the same thing. We want to empower minds, we want people to learn, and we are actually almost discovering a new technology, just like at some point people discovered, electricity. It's to that level that this is really serious. Hope it's moving. So the problems I was talking about that we try to solve is we have more and more students, and especially in Africa. And we want to solve the problem of access to quality education. And we cannot do it linearly with all the same tools that we've been doing. If you look at our university, which is 7 years old, we invested so much. And we cannot do the same thing. We cannot do the same thing in every country. We have to rely on digital to scale. And we need to touch as many people as we can in our continent. So this is moving slowly. Yeah. So we rely on AI because it has a multiplier effect. We can solve these problems using AI, as you can see. As you will see here, we used it with 3 different tools to reimagine certain processes and make actually education available to a higher number of people. So, of course, it's a new technology. We don't know so many things about it. Nobody knows exactly where it will stop because every week it changes. But we need to be, using it wisely with purpose, equity, and care. So how do we approach actually the question of education? Because we are talking about transforming how education is delivered. And we wanted it to be accessible, adapted, and empowering minds. As you can see, we all are worried about how our children and the youth are using these technologies. Being AI and ChatGPT, a lot can harm learning because people just look for answers and they don't really think. So we're big on critical thinking. We'd like people to stay mindful of their capacity to think. So there are so many things that we found, like We thought it was a good idea, but when you do research, you end up actually finding that it was not the right thing to do. So to do this, go to different different tools, and we started with course creation. I'm waiting for the slide to come in. So 3 different initiatives to rethink that learning experience. I'm going to show them to you. We have the AI course builder. We used AI to actually speed up the process of making content. And we have used also the AI tutor, probably so many of you know about. It's AI being contextualized to the course content, and so that the students can actually have an exchange with a 24/7 tutor that is available for them. Now, the good, or maybe the bad news, is that AI learns from people and it has memory. Really, it's really a change in, how we behave. Really, it's really a change in how we behave between us and with machines, and probably the future is about human and AI collaboration. And finally, the online classroom, which is something that you'll see. We got inspiration from Harvard Business School, and we can do the heavy lifting for the professor so that the course is developed and created very quickly. With this, we could cut actually time and cost by 80%, making it, a quicker process to create content. And let me tell you something. Everybody, when we look at content online, we talk about case studies in the US. Everybody talks about Netflix, and do very quickly the course content creation. This is our team at the Digital Learning Center.
Built to scale,
Will we have the
adapt,
sound?
and empower. Development
it's okay.
becomes seamless, fluid, adaptive, and
Yes,
efficient.
it's coming.
Where the friction of complexity gives way to intuitive, effortless innovation tailored for every learner.
Solved the problem we had at UM6P, which was that all the professors didn't have time to go sit down and get, registering the different sessions in videos. It's too much for them, and you can understand that, because if you say something wrong, you have to redo the session from the start. Now, it took me 3 minutes to talk about my cat, the story of my cat, that's all. And with this, they made my avatar, and they produced hundreds of videos when I was sleeping. So the team can actually take your avatar, they capture the sound, well, these tools are available online. It's not something that we created, you all know about it, like HeyGen and all the likes. But we used it to actually create content with videos, but also content with diagrams and things that the students actually really appreciated. When they hear you talk about concepts, they can go down and look at things that are explained. And if they still don't get it, they go to the AI tutor, which was the second actually tool. And the AI tutor is becoming, again, better and better, and becomes better with time. As long as you interact with it, it knows more about you. So the third one was the online classroom. And what we're trying to do is, about those tools that come to your meeting to take notes, automatic. They listen and then they give you summaries and all that, Otter AI and things like that. In this, what we are trying to do is to analyze facial expressions of the students, and then at the end, give them a report saying, when the professor was talking about this notion, you frowned. Maybe you didn't get it. So here are some resources so that you get better. So you actually go to the student and say, we identified maybe that you didn't get this point, and we can help you. So this becomes really personalization at scale. This is customization to every person, which means people come to the classroom to have a discussion, a debate. We're not in the, we're all learners and teachers at the same time. So we debate with everybody, and every person, every student, every learner, they have their own experience in this. So these were the things that we tried, and we are seeing change. Students want to come to the classroom more than before because they're really interested. Faculty now don't hesitate to have their course digitized. And as I told you, we cut down the costs and the time by 80%, which allows us now to scale very quickly and go to what I said in the beginning, go to more learners in Africa. And with this, to finally tell you about something that we're launching, we're talking about a project called Africa 100. What we want to do is make sure that at least we train 100 million Africans to AI. The reason why we talk about training people is the best way to adopt the technology is to have people use it. It's not really to tell them about the theory. It's they have to take it and use it. And you know what? All the young people already use it, because all you need is a smartphone and a connection. And this is available almost everywhere. So if we have to do something, is just give access to people to content that is contextualized and to this technology. And we'll be very happy to cooperate with universities in Africa. So whoever is interested, this is a project that we're going to be launching with Harvard Business School and with other institutions that I cannot cover right now. But it's going to be a Pan-African project. So thank you very much for your attention.
Hi, good morning. Yes, I think after the presentation by Jalal, we should be taking tea by now. Well, I have to also speak to our students and to, so I'm from the University of Cape Coast. I am to say something on student-driven initiatives that transform. My university is one of the public universities in Ghana. We are blessed to have students who have thought through with us and have come out with some initiatives that we think are transformative. And we want to share this with the audience and to encourage students who are here to see that they are important partners when it comes to how we can transform their lives in school. So I want to talk about just two initiatives that have been taken up by our students. My colleague Ghanaians here are very familiar with that transport service. They came on board and gave them some fleet of buses to expand this initiative on campus. Along the line, they were having some challenges. So they got in touch with HM Boafo, another transport service, to come on board. In 2021, the university realized that this was a very good initiative. So the university took over this by signing an MOU with GAPTI, that is the Greater Accra Passenger Transport Executives. And today, if we look at the buses, we go back, you see that these buses are on campus, and those who have visited the University of Cape Coast, you will see that this is the main mode of transport. This is an initiative that was led by the students and then expanded by the university when it adopted it. And so I will conclude by saying that our students have the power to contribute to initiatives that will transform. As we speak today, we have over 20,000 students on campus who are making use of this bus service and are able to move in a very safe
systems and ecosystems through student-driven systems and ecosystems through students.
we can provide decent housing for them. It's unfortunate. You go to some universities and then you ask any student, what are your experiences? The first thing they will tell you, we are struggling to get a decent place. And so the universities ought to look at that. That is why we commend our students highly, because being able to support us to provide such a structure is a good example of how students themselves can support.
That challenge, and how can we as Africans, because we are gathered here as Africans to customize solutions to our continent, with those realities, the AI, the solutions it's offering on real time, what are some of the practical bits that we can be handling with as faculty, as students, in bridging that divide? What are those conscious pointers that we need to be alive to?
Yes, okay. I think that we need to really shift the mindset in terms of how we see the world. Why? It's because when you're born, they tell you to go to a place called the school. Why? It's because there's somebody who knows things that you don't know. You're going to learn.
Yeah.
We call him the professor. But you're the student, you know nothing. The professor knows. So you go actually asking for knowledge. Who said that? Why should it be exactly like that we learn this way? Now, we all see that that's the standard. But now that AI came, it's changing completely how we should function. So I think we have to come back to, if you say, I have a problem with evaluation, I want to evaluate my students, but they have access to AI, so I cannot evaluate because they have the answers. Well, what you get wrong in this, according to our experience, is the very thinking that you want to ask the students to tell you what you told them already, to tell you back. And this is you think about it, it's maybe not the best way of checking if those students learn something. But if you continue insisting to ask the students to give you back what you are supposed to have given them as a professor, you're done. And you're not going to solve the problem. Now, if we apply this thinking to how we evaluate our students in exams, I gave a course last year and everybody answered with ChatGPT. You could tell. So what I did, I took all the answers, gave it to ChatGPT and said, look, these guys used you to answer me. Now, what you're going to do is when you see that the answers really come from you, you take out 2 points. So I turned AI back to the students and this is how, so they were, this year I gave the same course and I changed completely and I said, you know what, exam 1. And I said, I really don't care about your grades. You can all pass but it's not useful. And they all came. Next day, next session, we had 8 sessions and the participation was at the highest rates. Why? It's because they come to tell us about their stories. And believe me, what I learned from them is amazing. And the content of the course was what happened last week, every day. Every week was what happened just last week in AI. We were talking about actual thing. And you cannot imagine they know about everything, real time. So you cannot go and teach today some people who know more than you do. Now the students are the teachers. If we don't get this, we're going to stay behind. And that's why I'm saying we need to really shift the mindsets. So in evaluation, don't evaluate the answers. They get them from AI. Evaluate how they interact with AI. 2, if you want to, if you want to talk about research, we did an event at UM6P and in the room there were many researchers and they actually answered a survey live. And 5 of them said, we never use AI. I'm sorry, if you don't use AI as a researcher today, you're not researching anything. What do you expect? When you see Sakana AI from Japan, you just give it the question, the research problem. You take your popcorn and you watch. And it does the whole job for you. Ends up writing papers that actually go through the journals. They win, completely done by AI. So what are we talking about? What are we going to do as humans? I think that we really have to realize that what's happening is really a grave moment, and especially in education, we have to totally change what we think are the standards in education. And that's why I think this is really the opportunity for Africa and for all the countries, all the people who want to catch up with the other world who's creating these technologies. And as a final note, I really don't think we should invest in the technologies just like they do. You saw what Trump got from the GCC, $5.7 trillion. Do we have that in Africa?
Yeah.
No. Africa is 2% of the world economy. So I think we should stop joking, you know, and not imagining that we'll scale the same technologies in here. That's not the point. What we should do, on the contrary, is use those technologies. That's why we're talking about adoption and making it, you know, all solutions are in the hands of the maximum people, because you saw with the DeepSeek moment in China, necessity is the mother of invention. That's what we have here in Africa.
Wow, thank you, Jalal. Amazing. Very beautiful revelations. The only lady in the panel, Araba. I don't know about Ashesi University, but this is something that many universities in Africa have been in the higher education trade for the last 8 years, and there's a nexus that is not nexusing, and this is a challenge. You are in admissions and financial aid. I will remove the financial aid bit. In most universities, you find that admissions is the role of, it's sometimes the role of the business development team, or what they call the marketing team, so that the admissions office is just a registry of sorts, keeping data, I mean, making sure all the paperwork are in good position. And that's okay, that's a model, working somewhere and it's succeeding. In other quarters, the admissions team does both the frontline work of championing for the brand, looking for new business for students, and also in the back end, they have a team that manages the registry function, the keeping of data, archiving of exams and all that. In your experience, where is this leading us in terms of realigning the demand for, we need to push for business so that we have more students? And in light of, I mean, there's a generation, I don't know whether it's something across the world, but in Kenya right now, we are having a challenge where students are questioning, why should I go to the university? And I think it's a challenge across Africa, but with this generation, why should I go for that paper and the other paper? So in reality of that, what do you think is a nexus between business development and the admissions, the registry role in universities, in both public and private universities, and in the function and in the experience you have?
All right, thank you very much. I think this is where it's important for us to look at the cross-departmental collaboration, right? At Ashesi University, we have a marketing team, that is the admissions team. We're looking for new businesses. We're doing interviews, bringing in the students. There's a registry that is keeping the student academic data. But we need to work with them, right, such that we know what everybody's looking for. And it's not just the two departments. It's an integrated system. And just like Prof. Pak said, the experience goes a long way. One student can tell a prospective student, I've had such a good experience. It's in your interest to come. There's a difference between interacting with people in a classroom, learning from faculty, interacting with student services team, interacting with the health services, and just looking online, individually reading and getting knowledge. Knowledge is not only in the theory. Their very experiences, day-to-day experiences, make up part of the knowledge that the students get. Whether they're going to the restaurant or the canteen, whether they're going to the counseling team, whether they're going to you name it. Each and every experience matters. And so, in my opinion, yes, you can get knowledge by just sitting in your room, but it takes away that human element. And then you're networking. I've seen people come from different backgrounds across the world, and then as they get together, they learn from each other. It becomes a learning point. Imagine having 4 people in a room, one from Zimbabwe talking about salsa, another from Kenya talking about chapati, somebody from Ghana talking about wache, and somebody from, you name it, I mean, talking about something else, matoke from Uganda. I have not been to Uganda, but I understand them. I'm able to connect. 10 years from now, if I have to go work in Uganda, I feel some sense of belonging because I've interacted with people from that aspect. You don't get the same feeling learning outside the university or online. And so I believe that much as there is a case for learning online, that human element, that element of cross-fertilization of ideas, sitting together, learning from different people, from different cultures, is very important. And in the same way, the systems within the universities need to be integrated. You can't work in isolation, saying that I'm marketing and somebody's health or somebody's student services. We're all working for the common purpose. And the more we learn to collaborate and work together for the common good of our students, the better we'll be.
Wow, thank you, thank you. We have a pool of wonderful ushers who are helping us. They have roving microphones. We want now to transfer power to the people to ask the right questions and receive the right answers from our wonderful panel. Yeah, any takers? Yeah, there's a hand. Okay, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Can we take that first round of 5? Beginning from behind there. Yeah.
Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Jacqueline Bure from Uganda Christian University. My question is right to the last speaker. You have emphasized on systems being integrated and working together. So my question is, what are those best strategies of how to make systems work effectively? Because many times, like you rightly said, it's the systems that fail us. Academics may fail to work with finance, fail to work with health, and that's where the problem all begins. So if you could briefly share some of those best practices to work collaboratively. Thank you so much.
Okay. I'd say that it starts with the vision and the mission of an institution. What are you there for? Is it about the students? Is it about the outcomes or the impact of the student? And once you get that as an institution, you need to cascade it down to the various departments. So in Ashesi, for example, we have our bigger vision, a new Africa. We have our mission that we are educating ethical entrepreneurial leaders in Africa who will bring about that change that we envision. But then we sit down as admissions and say, in the bigger picture, where do we as admissions fall? What is our role? What is our vision? And we are saying we're marketing the university, right? Using appropriate channels and all that. But we fit ourselves into the bigger picture. If every department, every unit will fit themselves into the vision of the university, then you know that we're working towards one goal. And that's where we need to collaborate with each other. So academics need to understand that if we do not bring them the right students, they can teach everything they want, they may not get the right outcome, right? So then they need to work with us. Student services need to understand that if they don't give us feedback, we will continue doing the same things, yet they will be expecting different results. And so it's important that we start right with the very mission or the vision, cascade it, and let everybody understand. Again, there's the need for regular, say, whether it's once a month, once a semester, team building in terms of interdepartmental meetings, where you get to understand what the challenge is. Sometimes we work blindly. You make assumptions that people know what you're looking for, or people know what your challenges are in a particular department. And so systems may not work because we're not talking to each other. And so it's important that in the bigger picture, we still learn to come, focus, refocus, recenter, talk to each other, and ask questions that will deepen the conversations, broaden the scope, and that will help us know where the gaps are and how best. And sometimes my answer may lie with, the Accessibility Center. They would be able to provide feedback that solves my problem. Another may lie with career services. So it's important for systems to work. It needs all of us working towards a common goal and talking to each other.
Wow, thank you. There was a hand over here.
Thank you so much. My name is Natasha from Uganda, Cavendish University, Uganda. And my question goes to Mr. Jalal. Thank you so much for the presentation. It's quite mind-blowing, the things you're doing with AI. I wonder, these initiatives, when it comes to programs that are by nature more interactive and hands-on, such as programs in healthcare, like public health, as well as other units like experiential learning in career services, for instance, how do these initiatives work, or how do you use them, or how can other stakeholders use them in such a way that enables students to keep learning without removing the human elements or the interaction that is required by the nature of these programs? And how can we best make use of them to get student development outcomes? Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Actually, the way we try to, there is no one solution that fits all. Even between the different courses, we have, different, I would say, tools. What we try to do is to test some of those tools in some courses and to see if there is a response from students and from the community, etc. What I can tell you, the process that we ended up thinking is the best way to go is when you take a course and you see how it is, for example, in medical studies, something where you have to touch and see things, etc. And we ask ourselves, what are the tools available? And by the way, so many tools are today available to everybody. Instead of recreating them, we ask ourselves, what are those AI tools that we can use to enhance the experience in that learning? If we're talking about, for example, in medical, looking at the human body, for example, well, we would use actually 3D headsets where you can see things around, etc. So we're going to introduce AI tools in specific ways. Not all courses look the same. They're not all use the same tools. For example, last time we were presenting all those tools to the university, and one professor of philosophy told us, I don't actually give content to my students. They discover it with me during the class. So I cannot put my content online. I want them to see it live, as I explained. And for that, we had all those boards, digital boards, where when he explains, actually people see it on their screens, etc. And he found new ways of explaining philosophy in a way that makes it more accessible for the students instead of just lecturing people in one different way. So when he is, for example, explaining a concept, the AI is coming up with explanations at the same time, live. So for example, when he says this theory came up in 1956 by this philosopher, whatever, you have more information coming out on the side. And it's an enhanced experience for the student without the professor saying everything. But they actually get more, some of it coming from the professor and some other is coming from AI. And as you said, we need to keep the human in the loop. And that's why we really think whatever the solution is, whatever the problem is, the future is human AI collaboration. Now, what's for sure is all repetitive tasks, things that waste your time in preparing or in doing, you have to actually give it to AI because it automates things, makes them faster, sometimes better. So it's not about really, all this is not about the technology. It's about how you open your chakra, how you just accept that you get help from technology. It's very important that you as an instructor or professor, you don't feel like you're being replaced. This is the fear that everybody has. And you have to know that you're gonna still be important and maybe more important than before. But if you don't navigate with technology, all the students will think you're very old and you know, you has been, they're not gonna talk to you anymore. I mean, they can teach you even. But if they see that you're using the technology and you're giving them more than what they can have alone, now there is an interest and they can use it. So in a nutshell, if you frame every problem today as an AI problem, that makes you think differently. And you start to see where you can introduce different tools in different settings. And of course, there is not one solution that fits all. It depends, as you said, on on the courses. For example, in the course I was teaching, it was digital mindset in the age of AI. So we're talking, it's use cases, and it's a lot of talk and discussions. But the students said, oh, in our marketing course, it would have been amazing to actually have the tutor in the marketing course. And I said, why? They said, because we'd like to see more examples at our speed. They want to talk about this tool in marketing, see how can we apply it, etc. For example, when you do marketing, they teach us about focus groups, right? You actually bring people in a room and you ask them questions. And a lot of people proved that this was not the right thing to do because people don't always tell you the truth. It's normal. It's not that they're lying, but sometimes they just don't want to tell you. So now what people do is they watch you, what you're doing, and they don't ask you questions. They see what you're doing. This is what they do in social media. They know everything about us because they see how we behave in social media. This is what happened in Cambridge Analytica. They say that if you do, 50 likes, they start to know you, like a friend. If you do 200 likes, they start to know you better than your wife. And if you do 500 likes, they know you better than yourself. They can tell you what you're going to answer to a question that you don't have yet. Like, would you vote for this candidate? They will tell you, according to your behavior, when you like this, when you did it without even thinking about it, then they would be able to predict your behavior. And most of the time, it's frighteningly accurate. So that's why we don't have to shy about using technology, but the right way. And there's always room for the human in the loop. So I hope this helps.
Wow, amazing. Thank you. There was a hand on that end. Yes, thank you. And then it would be you next. You'll be next, but Prof first.
Thank you. My name is Professor Wanja Maura from Riara University. My question goes to the Professor of AI. I know you've answered somehow the question of, and you have managed to bring in the students to start understanding the power of using AI. But what we have seen among our colleagues generally is a fear that AI is going to take them up, and AI is going to take their minds. AI is going to make them look foolish when the students come and they see whatever I've been teaching is actually from AI. How have you been able to overcome that change of mindset among the colleagues so that they embrace AI positively to see that it can actually make life a little bit easier for themselves, especially when it comes to working on the online content? Thank you.
Okay. Well, first, thank you very much for labeling me Professor of AI. That's an honor. You know, we were asking ourselves, how do we go with AI at the university? And I had joined the university, and when I was talking to, you know, I went to some conferences, and I met with, you know, top researchers, people who know what's happening really, you know, behind the LLMs. And they're, as you can imagine, they're humble people. You know, they know so much, and that's why they're so humble. And they end up answering the question, you know, when you say, where is this heading? They say, I don't know. Say, what do you mean you don't know? Say, we have no idea. We don't know if schools will still exist. We know nothing. If somebody tells you, they're lying, because nobody knows. And it's changing so fast. And I think that what happened is that we're seeing it now. AI is surprising everybody. Apple just published a paper saying models don't reason. And OpenAI just, you know, continues publishing better models. And the question is, what does it mean that it doesn't reason when it does amazing things like humans? Do we actually reason differently? Aren't we also, you know, as humans, aren't we maybe machines of pattern recognition algorithms as well? Because we see things from when this is what we learn as kids, and then we end up replicating what we discussed with people, etc. The question is, philosophically, we can continue talking about this, but practically, we had to do something. So what we did is we took AI and gave it to everybody without even asking the question. Of course, this is a problem, because professors were saying, wait a minute, you're giving this to students. And our answer is, yes, we're giving it because they already have it. They're not going to wait for us to have it. They have it at home. They work with it. They play with it. What do you think? So let's just embrace it. So we're the first ones less than a year ago, and we said it, and my president at the university called me the next day of the announcement, and he said, I got so many calls. And I was like, is this good or bad? And he said, no, actually it's good. I said, how? His people said, great, you are a very courageous university. You did this, you gave it to students. I said, okay, thank God, because I thought I was going to die. And the thing is, we tell the truth to students, actually. If you ask me the question, how did we get them and remove the fear? You know, I came to the classroom and said, look, we all have access to the same technology, and you may use it better than us, we the instructors. And that's why I cannot actually teach you maybe more than what you know. But what I'm going to do is invite you to a debate where you're going to exist by yourself. Because without you giving us what you think, you don't exist either. So what do you think about this and that? Tell me what you're going to do with it. The class was a hospitality course, in the hospitality, School of Hospitality. And we were always talking about how they would use this in hotels and restaurants and services. And they could relate very quickly to the problems that they would face. But they were telling me things that they lived in internships and real life stories that are amazing that you would never hear if you didn't have this frank discussion with them. That's why I think it is frightening. A lot of people are asking questions and wondering if AI is going to take them out. But I think it's too late to worry. If you're still worrying, you're just wasting your time. Yeah, because you'll end up very quickly understanding that you should, instead of worrying, you should do something about it. And what to do is actually just embrace, just, you know, jump on it and embrace the technology. Let people use it, see what they think, and listen. We need to really see how the impact of this. Nobody knows, again, what's happening, how it will finish, this story. When you know that movie, the gods must be crazy. Must be crazy, exactly.
Yeah, gods.
I love that movie, and this is what I actually came up with to my students and said, you know, that bottle of Coca-Cola, this is AI for us today. People didn't know what to do with it. They fought about it. They used it as a tool to break things. They used it for music. They did everything with the bottle of Coca-Cola. This is AI for us today. We don't know exactly what we're going to do about it, but it's here, and it's not going to leave us. So that's why, instead of worrying, just smile, use AI, and try it.
Thank you, Jalal. Thank you. Thank you. We are taking one more question, and we are bereft of time. This is what will happen, because I want to make these panelists famous. Just network with them over coffee and bound them with questions, kindly. We are bereft of time, and we need to succeed to another session right after the tea break. Is that okay? Kindly. We're already 5 minutes past our schedule, and we'll just do that one from the gentleman who is seated behind Rose. After that, we'll adjourn this session. I'll make some few announcements, and during coffee, make sure you hang around them, get their number, and let's do this together. Yeah, kindly do.
Thank you very much. My name is Fanuel from the University of Cape Coast, Ghana. So there are two dimensions. I look at culture and then also resourcing. So I've tried several in the last few days to even convince colleagues, seniors who are lecturers, faculty members about AI and the student-centeredness. And you see that there is a lot of resistance. You are perhaps the minority among the majority of about 1,000 people. What are some initiatives we can use to convince them? And I see resources, your infrastructure, and it is not so common. I'm sure your university is one of the most resourced universities in Africa, I know. For public universities that are not probably well resourced, are there smaller beginnings for us so we can start something like this? Then to Prof. Park also, I see that the initiatives are really good. The question is, assuming there are 10 universities and the cost of maybe a student hostel is 10 million. Each university students have raised about 1 million, and the money is sitting down. None of them can start. Can we probably escalate this and make it even more popular to maybe the Education Collaborative, Auntie Rose is here, so that the spirit of Ubuntu, Africa, one unitedness, can we bring maybe 10 universities together, guaranteed by their leadership, and say, okay, let's bring all those $1 million together. Let's start with this university this year. Then they will pay back once the project is completed. In 10 years, we may have 10 of such 1,005 hostels built in 10 universities through this kind of initiative, and that would be a beginning of a great thing. Maybe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So that's one to Jalal, another one to Professor Park. Can we begin with Prof? Yes. He's been silent.
Yes, I think the major problem with our public universities is funding. Government funding for infrastructure, we all agree, doesn't come in as expected. And so collaborations are the best. These days, the public universities, some are looking at public-private partnerships, where the private sector comes in, puts up these facilities, they operate for some number of years, and then they transfer the facilities back to the universities. So yes, I think if universities can come together, pool our resources together, we can make a headway. If students can come together over a period of 12 years, my students have paid this loan over a period of 12 years. They were paying by installments every year. After they contracted the loan, they were able to pay off this loan. Why not? Students can do this. Institutions can collaborate, because these buildings are capital intensive. This building, I think, in 2010, the students, I'm being told, paid about 10 million Ghana cedis. If you do the mathematics then, you see that that is money. But students were able to raise this. And so I think universities can embrace this spirit and come together. The challenge is whether our universities are willing to come together. We see ourselves as entities on our own, but we are struggling. So I think it is something that as stakeholders we all need to think through and see if we can pull our resources together. I'm sure we can go a long way to improve our infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Jalal?
Yes, I think you're right. Money is important for sure. But at UM6B, we're very fortunate that we had, you're right, a lot of resources. But we're not using them for just the benefit of us. We are really mindful of our mission, which is Empower Minds in Africa. And for this, what we are trying to do is find solutions to scale, as I said. We won't be able to create or build the same university in different places. It's too expensive. But it's a lab for Africa, and we're testing things. We're so fortunate and so happy that we are given this opportunity by our management and the people who set up the university, because we are really taking our time to develop solutions. So again, as I said, let's take AI and use it to the problem we have. What is the problem? Problem is, I said in the beginning of my presentation, access to quality education. We really think that the energy of Africa is its people. And this is always true everywhere, but especially in Africa, the very, I think the most important thing is the youth and the energies. We have to find a way to unleash them. For this, we need to give access, and to give access, we need to shorten the path that a student or a learner has to learning. And for this, we have to get out of the way of students. Not many administration, not too many rules and regulations and all that stuff. We just have to give people the opportunity to very quickly apply and learn. And this is, we really believe that pouring that many of resources, we are sure something will come out. And it always does. Because again, necessity is the mother of invention. And what we have in Africa is a very unique understanding of our own context, as I said. And we have to believe in the capacity of young people in Africa to come up with solutions. We need more access to education. We need more access to health. We don't need to solve the problems of the US. They have weird problems for us. They think about things, we don't get it. And it's normal. It's another environment. Europe, they think about things that they have solved many years ago, but we still didn't solve here. We need to give access to finance, to our companies. We need access to insurance, to farmers. So basic problems still need to be solved. But now we're going to be solving them with new technologies, new ways of doing. This is the promise. I mean, if we don't get this, if we don't leapfrog, we're going to stay behind. And nobody said we have to go through the same story as those different countries. Nobody said that. Now, in the face of this new technology, we can actually accelerate everything. And we can, because look at it, it's just amazing. And most of it is free. We don't have to get the best and the latest technology. We don't have to. It's very expensive, and that's what they're doing. Again, they develop things to make more money. We are not there yet. We make more money to develop things because we need to solve problems for so many Africans who do not have the chance to be like with us in this conference. So I really think it's so, this particular period in our history is amazing, and especially for our continent. And that's why, as you said, let's come together with many universities, put our resources, but the end goal is really to give between the hands of every individual a minimum access to things they can use to solve problems.
Wow, thank you, Jalal. Nathalie is closing for us. Yeah.
No, I'm not closing, but I just wanted to suggest something very practical and echo what he said, what Jalal said, which is, I think he mentioned at the beginning, the movement of AI is like the discovery of electricity. And so it's not the people who say, I'm tough and wonderful by staying in the dark. I think if we think about it that way, we really have to deeply understand that it is like electricity, and you do not get an award for staying in the dark. That's number one. Number two, I think practically, because Education Collaborative, it's about being action-oriented, I do think we should organize a visit to UM6B.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about two categories of people. Number one, it has to be university leaders, the presidents and vice chancellors, to really go and see what it looks like. So at Kepler, we've done it several times, and we are now launching our own. We already have internal initiatives. We've seen what's working. We want to learn some more. I'm really interested in the course builder, because you said 80% cheaper. I was like, let's do that, you know? But, you know, we need to go and visit and to see that it can be done for the free versions. It doesn't always require you to get the latest version of DeepSeek, yeah? So university leaders, and I always believe that you have to start with the willing. So you can't convince 100% of faculty. Take the 10% who are willing, show them what they can do, and get started. And so those two categories of people, we should maybe visit practically and take it from there.
You're welcome.
So Education Collaborative, maybe not fund everybody, because I know Rose is already looking at me, but organize it so that we can go and visit. Yeah. And this is a worthwhile investment. It's worthwhile travel, because it's the future of our universities. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, thank you. The challenge is again to Auntie Rose. The pressure goes there. Great. I mean, you know, the problem with the energies in the room is that you took refreshments before this session. But I want to take you back. It's been a joy. Thank you. Can we clap for these wonderful panelists as they assume back to their seats? Thank you for being with us. We appreciate when these people come to you, kindly be philanthropic with your knowledge. I know it will benefit them for a great deal of it. Education Collaborative. Oh, you want to do a photo op? Okay, amazing. That's good. Oh, while they're still here. As that is ongoing, because you're not in the photo, just listen to me. Education Collaborative has a brand store right where you are registering, and they have beautiful merchandise, a key ring, a thermal mug here, a notebook, and a cape. And so you can take something as you go home. How many of us received chocolate in our package? I mean, and the chocolate is still there for purchase. I mean, you can make a great deal of announcement as you get back home with those chocolates from Ghana, and they'll be a great part of you. Our washrooms, our restrooms are just near where we were registering from, right on the left. You will see them are key signs on the doors, and you will have time for your break right there. It's 3 minutes past 11 a.m. I want to seek our indulgence to take our coffee break and be here at exactly 11:25. That is in the next 22 minutes, and we'll have a wonderful conversations to net in what we've already started. Thank you, and enjoy the break. Refreshments are served just in the foyer outside here.
already with their conversations and knowledge sharing.
Abuam Ponsem, and Assistant Director of Programs at the Education Collaborative, and I'm here with Grace Amponsa as Senior Coordinator at the Education Collaborative. Grace, I know that you've been leading the design of these sessions, very exciting sessions, I must say, and can you just tell us how different this year's convening is compared to previous years?
The last couple of convenings, our focus has been building the capacity of institutions to improve African higher education outcomes. This year's convening, we want to refocus on the students. So we are asking ourselves, how are institutions structured, all the units structured to ensure that the students have a great experience? So we are going to have all units represented at this year's June convening.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of thinking going through the planning of these sessions. We're not doing it alone, thankfully. We're working with amazing co-organizers who are supporting us to deliver the sessions on the June convening. Can you talk about their role and what they are doing?
This year, we have 3 institutions. We have the University of Embu working on the Reflecting sub-theme. We have Covenant University in Nigeria working on the Mobilizing sub-theme, and Ashesi University focusing on the Realigning sub-theme.
That's nice. Great. I also really like the pre-convening sessions that we are hosting before the actual convening.
Yes, we would have a yearly career strategy workshop. And then we have the Student Leaders Program, which I'm very excited about. We are going to have leveraging student leaders to build an ethical culture within their institutions.
That's a lot to look forward to. Very power-packed.
Nanama, I've been working with you in these sessions. Which ones are you particularly excited about?
I absolutely love the Human Library session. It's a session that adds a very personalized touch to the entire convening. And so I'm looking forward to learning and hearing from our human books. Also the executive leader sessions, executive leader clinics, where they receive one-on-one feedback, one-on-one coaching on certain strategies they are undertaking in their institutions. I think that's another thing to look forward to.
Wow, great. I'm looking forward to it, especially the Human Library.
I absolutely agree. And so all you university leaders, faculty and administration, and all other higher education stakeholders, we look forward to seeing you this June in Kigali.
Already there are conversations and knowledge sharing and meetings and meeting people. There's so much I'm already learning, talking to people who are also very passionate about excellence in higher education.
Since the collaborative started in 2017, it's always an honor to welcome you here to Accra, Ghana, to share thoughtful, forward-looking conversations about higher education in Africa and the roles we play to make it stronger.
It's no longer competition but collaboration. And that's what we are here for. How do we collaborate with others? How do we go beyond the shores of our countries to collaborate with others and make the continent move higher?
We are about 270 persons here, and we represent over 60 institutions of higher education and 20 affiliated institutions and industries from across 18 countries.
We should be educating people to be good citizens and good leaders. First, we should be educating people with practical skills. And we should be educating people to be innovators, scientists, and technologists.
Knowledge must also be localized in order to respond to the realities of a particular environment. We must create an African who is educated and whose true north is the love for Africa.
The Education Collaborative has been specifically meaningful for us in just setting out, necessary benchmarks.
As someone coming from the private sector, we've made a lot of progress in terms of being able to understand what institutions, what their realities are, especially in preparing students for the world of work.
It's a very practical, and most of it is workshop-based, where everybody is sharing their opinions. You're not just listening to somebody present on the whole thing for the whole session.
I've learned how much people are linking entrepreneurial activity with the importance of an ethical vision and a genuine attempt to improve the quality of the lives of the people of this continent.
So we are keen on learning from what others are doing in terms of how do you really teach, not just about ethics, but how do you teach people to the extent that they internalize and they actually behave ethically when it counts.
What particularly stood out for me this year, is the benefit of collaboration.
I'll tell you the truth, it's the first time that I'm mixing with people from East Africa and my other cousins from West Africa. So this has been really amazing. This has been really good. I had a good time.
We believe that this is an opportunity to create a kaleidoscope of best practices for what a university needs to do to ensure that it's getting employable, entrepreneurial, and ethical leaders, and that's just amazing.
Uche is an IT professional who faces a dilemma when a colleague expects her to cover up for his remote work, which is against company policy. Work in the office is piling up, and Uche feels uneasy lying by omission in online meetings. Uche knows what she thinks is right, but how can she get it done? What should Uche say and to whom? What information does she need to gather? How should she frame her position to appeal to her audience? What objections and pushbacks can she anticipate? And how might she react to them persuasively?
Welcome to Giving Voice to Value Africa. Raise your hand if you ever felt the need to speak up but were afraid of what it meant to do so. Creating awareness of ethics without addressing how to speak up or act is inspirational but not enabling. Many values conflicts in the workplace are predictable, yet people don't feel empowered to act. They rationalize not speaking up or simply are unsure of what to do in order to be effective.
The GVV Africa course brings together the Giving Voice to Values framework with real examples of values conflicts and creative and effective solutions shared by leaders, managers, and young professionals in Africa. The course is highly engaging and includes opportunities to reflect, connect and share with others, receive feedback, and participate in synchronous case facilitation sessions that help you build your moral muscle memory using scripting and role play. So far, GVV Africa has helped over 300 learners from 20 countries across the continent gain the competence and confidence to make that choice. Champion values-based leadership. GVV Africa.
Already there are conversations and knowledge sharing and meetings and meeting people. There's so much I'm already learning, talking to people who are also very passionate about excellence in higher education.
Since the collaborative started in 2017, it's always an honor to welcome you here to Accra, Ghana, to share thoughtful, forward-looking conversations about higher education in Africa and the roles we play to make it stronger.
It's no longer competition but collaboration. And that's what we are here for. How do we collaborate with others? How do we go beyond the shores of our countries to collaborate with others and make the continent move higher?
We are about 270 persons here, and we represent over 60 institutions of higher education and 20 affiliated institutions and industries from across 18 countries.
We should be educating people to be good citizens and good leaders. First, we should be educating people with practical skills. And we should be educating people to be innovators, scientists, and technologists.
Knowledge must also be localized in order to respond to of a particular environment. We must create an African who is educated and whose true north is the love for Africa.
Uche is an IT professional who faces a dilemma when a colleague expects her to cover up for his remote work, which is against company policy. Work in the office is piling up, and Uche feels uneasy lying by omission in online meetings. Uche knows what she thinks is right, but how can she get it done? What should Uche say and to whom? What information does she need to gather? How should she frame her position to appeal to her audience? What objections and pushbacks can she anticipate? And how might she react to them persuasively?
Welcome to Giving Voice to Value Africa. Raise your hand if you ever felt the need to speak up but were afraid of what it meant to do so. Creating awareness of ethics without addressing how to speak up or act is inspirational but not enabling. Many values conflicts in the workplace are predictable, yet people don't feel empowered to act. They rationalize not speaking up or simply are unsure of what to do in order to be effective.
The GVV Africa course brings together the Giving Voice to Values framework with real examples of values conflicts and creative and effective solutions shared by leaders, managers, and young professionals in Africa. The course is highly engaging and includes opportunities to reflect, connect and share with others, receive feedback, and participate in
And that makes the energy in the room right now feel like we've all come from Chama meeting. Because we've refreshed, we have some coffee in us, some tea, and it's making us enjoy the moment. At this moment, we want to invite Rose Dodd. Rose is the Executive Director of the Education Collaborative. Rose, just be seated, just be seated. I'll give you time. I give you time. You know, when we were acknowledging nations, there's one nation called Education Collaborative, and they want to acknowledge the staff team who have done all this work to put this together. No, just wait on instructions, wait on instructions. So I want to invite the people who work with Rose and under Rose, the Education Collaborative Secretariat. I know many of them are out there if they can be called. I want them to be upstanding. Dr. Mugabe is right here. We want to appreciate this team. The incessant communications. How many emails did you receive from 2,025 emails, right? 2,025 emails came in. What else? A sea event up, and what a joy it is. Excellence is the surname of this team. Can they be upstanding? We clap now for them. Like, seriously, we need to clap. And the team of volunteers, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know a number of them are outside there, but we really appreciate. That fine gentleman is Dr. Mugabe. He manages this hub, and we are in his home country. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Doc. Amazing, amazing. Rose Dodd leads that team, the Executive Director of Education Collaborative, and she'll be bringing to us the thoughts around the outcomes report and the launch of this June convening. It's now my pleasure and my joy to bring to you Rose, and the next voice you hear is the voice of Rose Dodd as she brings to us those reports and even the convening outcomes. Thank you. Welcome, Rose.
Thank you so much, everyone. We were saying earlier that it doesn't matter how many times you've spoken on stage. When you're called to speak on stage, it's a whole bunch of nerves. But I'm really excited to be here this morning. Good morning once again, everyone. And I titled what I'm going to say, The Right Place at the Right Time with the Right People. So I am going to definitely touch a bit on the outcomes report, what we've done so far. And then I will talk about where we are headed over the next few years. So distinguished guests, university leaders, ecosystem partners, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the Education Collaborative 2025 June convening. It is always an honor to be here with you, not just to reflect, but to imagine what comes next. We are also excited to be hosting the June convening outside of Ghana for the first time since we started in 2017. Rwanda is one of 5 countries that allows free travel to all Africans without prior approval, visa approval, with Ghana being the most recent 5th one. I think that deserves. And this openness makes convenience like this possible. To all our partners in Rwanda, all the university leaders we are working with, We say thank you for being very gracious hosts. Murakozi Nyani. Chani. Murakozi Chani. So as I was thinking of what to share today, the primary question on my mind was, how can we convince everyone here? How can I convince everyone here and everyone watching us around the continent that we are in the right place at the right time with the right people? 8 years ago, we welcomed some 12 universities and organizations to our first June convening on Ashesi's campus in Brekusu in Ghana. The feeling I had at that time was of hope and cautious optimism. We were embarking on an uncertain experiment, asking traditional competitors, universities, to think of how they could work together, making the case for collaboration, making the case that collaboration was the only way we could effectively make higher education a force for growth in Africa. Today, as we welcome 73 universities and organizations to this convening, the feeling I have is different. It's a feeling of restlessness. Not restlessness born out of impatience, but of clarity. We now know that this vision of collective transformation is not only possible, it is also already happening. This brings a new kind of responsibility, which is central to our convening theme this year. We must now work to ensure that every African student, no matter where they come from, can access a university system on this continent that sees them, that serves them, and that prepares them to lead effectively. This morning we've heard extensively, and I'm sure through coffee break you heard even more, evidence of how collaboration can help us achieve this. We've engaged a community of almost 500 institutions across Africa who are sharing openly and shaping new thinking for higher education. We are a network that's reaching and serving over 320,000 students, developing new pathways for careers, innovation, entrepreneurship, leadership. We have the Eastern Africa Hub, the Western Africa Hub, the Southern Africa Hub of institutions, working to identify ways to improve systems and to have a unified voice that will contribute and improve policy in higher education. So this is not just about scale. It's about momentum, a certain momentum that we have started to garner or to build. Our greatest achievement is not expansion. It's not the numbers of universities. It's the shift in mindset that we've begun to cultivate. From competition to collaboration, to believing that we can create excellence right here on this continent, from isolation to openness, and from thinking of students as outputs to understanding them as the very reason why we exist as higher education institutions. And this shifting mindset comes at a very pivotal time. In recent months, we've all seen and heard in the headlines, visa bans, migration policy rollbacks, tightening borders. Students from across Africa are increasingly finding it harder to migrate to destinations that once promised opportunity. But this is not a crisis, right? It's a moment of reckoning for us, and it's a window of possibility. Because when international doors shrink, we are not left with nothing. We can open up to each other and build our own. So can African universities become destinations of choice for African students? The answer to this is yes. But this will only happen if we put the students at the center of everything we do as African universities. Not the institutions themselves at the center, not even the policies at the center, but the students at the center of everything we do. That means reimagining what quality means. That quality is not just academic prestige, but as relevance, equity,
employability, and purpose. This means asking not just what did these students learn, but who did they become? And it means ensuring that African students can experience global, world-quality education without needing to leave the continent to find it. That is the work we've started in the Education Collaborative. And here's what we are going to be doing next to advance this work. Over the next 2 years, the Education Collaborative, now that is all of us here in this room today, together with our member institutions, will deepen our efforts to enable universities to strongly continue to drive career readiness and institutional systems for entrepreneurship development, building on the successes that we've been developing and growing since 2017. We will invest in students not just as learners, but as leaders. And we will work with student leaders across the continent to leverage their roles to embed ethics, civic agency, and purpose into campus life, so that they are not only preparing for the future, but also shaping it. We will leverage the momentum we are seeing to boost initiatives that enable student and faculty mobility within Africa. Our goal will be to bring new African perspectives to our campuses and drive shared curriculum offerings across institutions. To measure our progress, impact, and even our shortcomings, we will continue to advance the sub-Saharan African higher education rankings, not to simply mimic global systems, but to assess ourselves against the missions we carry, the impact we want to have, and the various ways in which we contribute to the continent's education needs. And bringing all this together, we will curate and elevate African thought leadership so that we are not just consumers of global ideas, but contributors and authors of solutions from the learnings we are garnering from our own context. So what does this mean? So what does it mean, really, to be in the right place at the right time with the right people? It means being here now together. In this room are people who already know what it takes to change the story of higher education in Africa, not by copying what others have done, but by showing what's possible when African institutions lead together. In conversations with me just about 2 or 3 days ago, one of my colleague attendees in this room here spoke about how his engagement in the Education Collaborative had taken him to other countries on the continent. Specifically, he got to immerse himself in higher education institutions within those countries. He said, I have visited Tanzania, I have visited Rwanda, I have visited Kenya, Nigeria. He said, I began to realize that I knew more about higher education programs outside of Africa than I did of programs in Africa. For him, the biggest value is how he has been able to connect better with a higher education system within which he has built and is continuing to grow his career. So this is why over the next few days, through the different sessions that you engage in the June convening, and the discussions that you have in the breakout sessions, I invite you to connect genuinely. As Dr. Sylvie mentioned and the Honorable Minister also mentioned, it's not just about the dialogue. It's also about the genuine connections that we make at the convening. Because you really are at the right place, at the right time, with the right people. So seek out opportunities to collaborate boldly and rethink all the assumptions we have held about what is impossible in Africa. The real test of this network is not how many universities we convene. It's how many students we are able to uplift through the systems that we are shaping and engaging in our daily work. And how many futures we help take root right here on this continent. So let us recommit to collaboration, not
as an ideal, but as an intentional practice. The Education Collaborative, the entire purpose is to make it possible for institutions and individuals on the continent engaged in higher education to know that that institution next to you, in the community next to you, is working very hard to achieve the same outcome that you are setting out to achieve. And so collaborate genuinely, openly, bring together efforts so that we can quickly amplify and speed up the change and transformation that we want to see. Thank you once again for joining us at the 2025 June convening of the Education Collaborative. And I wish you a great convening this year.
And the unfolding of days, the confidence that the collaborative, the Education Collaborative has gained an imprint in Africa, discussing African problems while on the same canvas, painting African solutions that are customized to the space we have come to be accustomed with and we've come to know. At this moment, we want to have a photo session. Politicians in Kenya have had one problem. They have to validate where they were in school. So some of us probably have to validate, where did you go in Rwanda? There could be many issues, but that's not the case. We want just to have group photo sessions for nationalities, and so we'll be doing that alphabetically. Did you notice that as I was acknowledging the nationalities, it was alphabetically? We started with which country? Botswana, and ended where? Zambia, in Lusaka, Zambia. So that's good. So what we'll do, so that we don't crisscross the cameras, you can see the guys at the back there, and it's a live event. We'll stream from that end, and join me here on stage, have your photo, and then we'll make an exit. Sawa sawa. Sawa sawa is Swahili for, is it okay? Yeah, sawa sawa? Sawa. Or poa sana. I mean, yeah, I won't charge you. No invoices for that. Very well. So can we start with Botswana? Botswana, we want you here on stage, Botswana. After that, I will make the closing remarks. Just come on stage, mommy. Even if you are alone, it's a testament that you are here. Oh, yeah, you have somebody. Oh, beautiful. Let's appreciate Botswana. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Wow, thank you. Thank you. Just the two of you, imagine. The Burkinabes, you can be streaming to that end. Those from Burkina Faso, kindly make your way from the other side. Burkina Faso, Canada, and Ethiopia. Let's go to that side. We want to do this in quick succession. Thank you. There's a gentleman from Burkina Faso. Yes, he's coming. I see him. Thanks. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Tindano. Yeah. All done? Very well. Canada. Where are friends from Canada? Yeah, she's right there. Ethiopia, we are next. Oh, there's somebody from Canada. Oh, wow. Amazing. Ethiopia is next. Ethiopia, followed by Ivory Coast. Thank you, thank you. Amazing. Thank you. Ivory Coast is a wonderful lady who is streaming in. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. These are commitment country by country. Ghana now. Ghana. It's like inviting Africa, right? Okay, Ghanaians, just join me here. Yeah, just come. We'll have to bear with you. Wow. Amazing. Let's clap for Ghana. Quite the numbers. Wow. That's good. Good stuff. Sorry. Wow. Yeah. Ghana, amazing. Wow, we celebrate you, Ghana. Thank you for birthing this and sharing it across Africa. It's a vote of confidence that it's for all of us. Thank you, Ghana. Very well, thank you, thank you. Wow. In my other life, I want to be a Ghanaian. I'm so committed to the cause, even when it's outside their country. Kenya, we are next. Kenya, where are Kenyans? Wow, Kenyans. Yeah, Kenyans. I'm so happy to see Kenyans. We have close to 3 vice chancellors from Kenya. Professor Robert Gateru from Riara University. So my elder, Dr. Vincent Ogutu. Professor Ntarangwi is here from USIU. Yeah, so Kenyans, we are here. Oh yeah, and Prof from Management University of Africa. Yeah. Morocco, you are next, so take a cue. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate all those who have come from Kenya. 4 vice chancellors from Kenya. It's a vote of confidence to what Education Collaborative is doing. Thank you. The professor of AI. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Morocco is right here. Next is our brothers from West Africa, Nigeria. Our Nigerian brothers kindly assume the stage. Amazing. Qatar is next as they do that. Qatar. Did we have some people from Qatar? Yeah, just come. Thank you. Let's celebrate these 2 wonderful ladies. Cross the territories to come and have wonderful moments here with us. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Mugabe, your country is next. Rwanda, our hosts, amazing people. Can we demand for a dance from them? Thank you. Just keep on coming, there's more space up. Amazing. We came in good numbers. South Africa is next. South Africa is next. South Africa. South Africa. Wow, amazing. Thank you, South Africa, for coming. Thank you. Togo. Wow. Thank you, my brother. Thank you for coming. From the Pearl of Africa, let's receive the Ugandans. Uganda. Yeah, Uganda. I see the Vice Chancellor of Cavendish. I mean, Sandra is right here. Good people these are. It's of interest that we don't have Tanzanians here. Thank you. Thank you. USA. The United States of America. Where are they? Oh, they're not? Okay. Let's do Zambia. Zambians. Where are the Zambians? Oh, they're with us online. Zambia. Okay. We have a number of partner institutions which we want to make special recognition and mention for. We also want to have a photo op moment. We'll begin with AIMS, Africa Institute for Mathematical Sciences. During coffee break, I met a Kenyan who works for that organization. We have a new term in Kenya called Hi Cousin, so that's what he referred me to, and I knew this must be a Kenyan. Where is AIMS? Oh, just come over. It's in the Ritu, right? Yeah, let's invite Africa Institute for Mathematical Sciences. Thank you for coming for this. We really appreciate you, Nderitu, for finding time, even representing your organization. They'll be followed by Zipline Rwanda. Let's take that photo. Can have some faded music in the background. to add the energy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Zipline. Where is Zipline Rwanda? Zipline Rwanda. Are they here? Probably you had them in the earlier session. Okay. The Ministry of Education, Rwanda. Anyone left from the ministry? I know the minister had an entourage, and his was not a walk of protest. He had another session to attend. He should have loved to be here, so not to worry. Next is MasterCard Foundation. Any representation from there? MasterCard. Wow, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, MasterCard. Thank you for the hand-holding and for encouraging these conversations. You can call them by name if they don't come. You can just pass me a list, I'll call them. Thank you, MasterCard. MasterCard Foundation. Wow. Thank you. And quite the gender balance there, right? Thank you. Thank you. Good people these are. Thank you. Remco. Where is Remco? Remco. Okay, some two fine gentlemen walking from that end. Remco. Very well. Umurava. That must be a Rwandese word, Dr. Mugabe, right? Okay, he's a guy. Thank you. Lastly, Resonate workshops. Where those are friends, Resonate workshops. Okay, thank you. Thank you for gracing this. Thank you. That's all. Now, just so that we show a sense of community, just flash out your phone. I'm not going to direct you to something, some atrocities, just some nice moments. You can be sure. I want you to take a selfie with somebody seated to you, or a group selfie. Sawa. If there's a joke that says iPhone people, they process their phones after 2 working days, you have an opportunity to process it today. And let's push this conversation on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, tagging Education Collaborative. We are pushing 2 tags. Wow, thank you. Dr. Nathalie's getting it right. Amazing. Yeah. Make sure you're seated next to a neighbor with an iPhone or a Samsung, not any other phone. And we are pushing those 2 hashtags, EduCollab 2025, EduCollab 2025, and JC, hashtag JC 2025. Let's condense these conversations, tag your institution from whence you're coming from, and the Education Collaborative. And what a joy will be to snowball this message to as many as are not gathered in this room. That's an opportunity right there. Very well. We want to appreciate everyone who has made this opening ceremony. Are we done? Thank you. If you can hear me, clap once. If you can hear me, clap twice. Okay, let's get back to this. We want to appreciate everyone who has been pivotal in this opening ceremony, the Ministry of Education, our team from Education Collaborative, the secretariat that made sure we settled in good time. For those of us who have been here for workshops, even from earlier from today, you can attest that we've had the best of moments while coming for this. And we want to appreciate every last one of you. I mean, we couldn't have gathered here and do all this and the merrymaking if you are not part of this. Would you want to clap for yourself? Thank you. Thank you. A special mention to the Araba team. I mean, they made this place lively and with great energy to start the day. And so we are in a good place also because of them. We're experiencing a good problem. We are ending this program earlier than expected. You know, one time I was in Burundi, and Burundians don't love committing to time. They tell you, I'll come in the PM. So you can wait for them until it's the PM is over and you transition to the AM. Our lunch is to begin at 12:30 p.m. and we're finishing at 15 minutes earlier. Not African time, eh? Good conversations and good condensing of ideas. But this is what I want us to do. After this, I mean, you can pass by the brand store. Lunch will be served at 12:30. Our ushers are waiting for us at the exits with some meal vouchers. They will give you a meal voucher. We go to the Soko. It's called Soko what? Soko restaurant. We'll go to the Soko restaurant. We are a number of us than that restaurant can accommodate. So the Iriba bar and the Iriba restaurant will also be an extension serving lunch. So make sure you have your meal voucher and hold it dear and near, even as you go to that place. So that, because it will give you, there's no amount of proving that you're with us that will give you the food, save for the meal voucher. Sawa sawa. Sawa, yeah, right. Great. And lastly, somebody dropped money while we were doing the photo shoot. Just come and identify what type of currency it is and tell me how much it is. If not, I'm a son of a priest, so I can consume the money afterwards, if you don't identify yourself with that. Lastly, just to be emphatic, our brand store has amazing items that can help you walk home with something that identifies you. We'll have amazing sessions. We are here because of students. We want to make the best of students' experience while on campus. The afternoon session beginning at exactly 1:30 will be pointing a sharp-pointed conversation towards that direction, and come and hear from the students themselves. We have a battery of students who are amidst us today, and they are part of this conversation to the end of the conference. Come and hear what beautiful stories are happening across our continent, and it will be a point to learn and take home for every last one of us and for the campuses and the colleges we represent. You have earned your lunch. It's time for lunch. Enjoy. See you at 1:30. Now that I'm releasing you early, let's be early with our comeback. 1:30 p.m. Fine, thank you, sir. Thank you. Good question. Okay. Very well.
I'll definitely also look for you in the system. And
Thank
I'll
you.
Yes. Yes. 1, 2. Yes. 1, 2. Yes. Hello? Yes. 1, 2. 2.